What episode is this, Chad?
Hey, Ringo.
Ringo's making. I don't know why he's barking. I'm not even playing the drums yet.
This is Cybercast episode 191, featuring the second part of the interview with Doug Stanhope.
Yes, a wonderful interview, great guest, and can't wait to talk to him again and to go play Bisbee.
It was nice that he decided to invite us out there.
Yes, it beats turning up on his doorstep. I want to do this right now. We want to wish Kelly and Debbie. They're celebrating their anniversary, and Kelly and Debbie came to see us in Weston at O'Malley's. Always extremely generous, and they're always, but we just want to say that some of our favorite people, and we want to wish you many, many, many more years together and a happy, happy, happy anniversary. Thank you for being our friends.
Yes.
Do you remember a band called Rat Ranch?
Oh yeah.
I just spoke to Kent.
Mark?
Mark?
Rat Boy. Yeah. Well, that's what we call him.
Yeah. And Mark Russell, the singer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good friend.
Oh yeah, he's in Dallas right now.
He's what?
He moved to Dallas.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. And Kent the guitar player, and I spoke to all those guys.
I met them in Anchorage back in, that was a day too. Anchorage was a scene.
Chilkoot Charlie's, right?
Yeah, and so Rat Boy still do the Costa Rica thing every year. I haven't seen them in a couple of years, but
what's the Costa Rica thing?
Well, we'd all go to Costa Rica. All the Alaska people, we'd all go down to Costa Rica in January or February, and hook up. Coots is fucking miserable now. It's just a shithole. I outgrew that, but all the people that work there, and Duran and that owns it, yeah, there's still a really tight group. A lot of them, Chaley. That's how I know Chaley and Tracy, by managers that live here on the compound.
Wow.
Yeah, he's the guy that booked me there the first time I worked there in '95.
When was the last time you played up there?
I thought it was 2001, but I just found I went through all my shit in the crawl space, because that's what you do when you have 8 months off. I have my Tupperware drawer is organized. I went through all my fucking scraps and shit. So I played there in 2006. I found a ticket stub. So that was probably the last time.
Wow.
I had no idea that Rat Ranch got that far up north. I haven't heard that story.
Well, Mark actually mastered my first 3 CDs that I taped in Houston, because he lived there, and he was the only guy I knew that had any skills with. So he mastered my first 3 CDs.
Yeah, he had incredible ear.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Small world.
Yeah. So what is he doing now? You said you just talked to him?
I hadn't talked to Mark in a while, but I've talked to Kent. He was a guitar player, and Cindy Haywood, who's she used to book a lot of the bands down here, but she's married to Rick, their drummer. And I remember when they went up there, it was 3 months. Wasn't it a 3-month gig or a 1-month gig, or it was?
I know they'd bring musicians up for as long as they could, because it's pricey to fly them and all their shit up there.
Yeah.
That's why they started going, oh, comedy? Yeah, we're going to save a lot of money. All they have to
a microphone.
Yeah. Pack a fucking change of underpants, and we'll have the microphone ready for you.
Mark's in Dallas. He's doing the variety band. The corporate guys have their party. They hire him. So 11, 12-piece band, something,
Yeah.
So that's what he's doing.
That's huge.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people to pay.
Yeah. Well, you got these big places paying the bill. They have to get rid of that money.
Has that ever crossed your mind where you go, listen, do we really need that guy in the band? Because we'd make way more money. Like the bank robbery movie where they kill the fucking getaway driver. Like, fuck him. We can always get a getaway driver.
Yes. Now we're a 4-piece. We have a fiddle player as well, but
You're gonna play in Texas.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
We've had people, other musicians, come to us and say, "Hey, why don't you like lose the drummer and the thing and just play to a track?" I kid you not. Just pre-record this stuff and play it. And essentially, that makes the people that play with music stands with lyrics and music and all that stuff. That makes them look like Eddie Van Halen. It makes it look like you don't. If you're up there playing to and it takes a skill to be able to do that. But
no, that's fucking horrific.
Yeah, and again, it's you know this better than anybody. I think comedians got the hardest job in the world. Not the worst job, but the hardest job in the world, because you get one microphone and all the attention's on you, and you got to bring them to their knees or you die, as they say, right? And
Yeah.
I couldn't go up there without these guys. I couldn't, I've played solo acoustic and I'd much rather sit front row at a comedy store and masturbate in front of the guy than no way. We have so much fun together, and there's a camaraderie, when we travel. I love to drive. So, we finished the show in Omaha on Sunday afternoon. I drove straight home to Houston, 14 hours, didn't even blink. And, because it's Oklahoma and Kansas, you don't even have to turn the steering wheel. So you just sit for 14 hours.
Audiobooks. When I lived out of my car for 3 years, audiobooks changed my fucking life. Back then it was on cassette tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Audio Adventures was the name. And they were in like Flying J truck stops. So you could rent it from one truck stop and drop it back off states away at another truck stop. And they were mostly shit. It was slim pickings because they're geared towards truck drivers.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of Louis L'Amour westerns, and you were hard pressed to find something you wanted to listen to. But you get a book that unabridged fucking Crime and Punishment, you get 26 hours. But then you're so into it by the time you get where you're going, you keep driving around the hotel till the chapter ends. Yeah. And now podcasts, when we're on the road driving, it's just time flies by.
Yeah.
It's like the old days where you just get like, oh wait, I could get AM radio for about 45 minutes on either side of Denver, and then there's one station, and it's usually Rush Limbaugh. or Jesus station that comes in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, those Jesus stations, man. I think that they're planted in your car. I don't think that there's places that we've driven that you're not supposed to get anything except hypothermia. There's nothing out there, and yet Jesus is coming through on the radio loud and clear. I don't get that.
What's your favorite middle of nowhere you've been? Because I used to love driving the back roads of Nevada, like in between Reno and Vegas, Tonopah, Goldfield. I don't know what your favorite middle of nowhere is in the States.
Oh, so many, because we played out the West Coast, we've done the East Coast, we've gone all the way up to the Canadian border, we've gone all the way down to Corpus, and so any place that's got hills, up by Eric, you get to go in the fall and stuff. Any place like that, we even have some nice places in Texas, believe it or not, outside of Austin.
I love the Dakotas are. Like, it's flat and nothing for a lot of it, but it's a surreal kind of nothing, like the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Like, there's just a weird vibe to it where, I'm not really looking at anything, but this feels like I'm driving on the moon.
Yeah. I liked Wyoming and Idaho because of the mountains and the hills, and it just seemed like there was completely nobody around for hundreds of miles, and you're just driving and you see bison on this side and mountain goats on that side. I mean, it again, kind of surreal in the wintertime too.
And the thing is, when you do run into people, you're not afraid of them. Usually a lot of places you go, I haven't seen anyone for 100 miles, thank God, because when I do, they're going to fuck me. It doesn't feel like a deliverance situation when you're in Montana and Wyoming.
True.
I was just thinking about, I think it was when we were driving through, it was when we're coming from California, like from Sonora, and trying to get to Denver. And I can't remember which state it was. We were out in the middle of nowhere, and the speed limits were like 80 or something like that.
Yeah.
And that was That was a nice. We didn't mind so much that there was nothing out there because we could go so fast. It was just
Do you ever have time to kill and say, fuck it, let's take a 2-lane and see what's out there because we have a day off?
Yeah, it's not so much the day off.
Bisbee. That's how I found this place. I just had 3 days between gigs in Phoenix and El Paso and just was driving back roads.
Yeah, we usually do just a wrong turn and end up in somewhere really cool. It's not time off. We have to make it up.
GPS took so much fun out of, finding weird new shit and taking wrong turns. Like you're looking at a road atlas. We call it the Bible. I still fucking make sure I have one in every car. And that looks like it would be a cool place to go. Like GPS takes all the fun out of that.
That's
true.
But
Yeah, we did that. The GPS took us off. We were going to play Long Island, and it took us off. It just decided, hey, they want to go see this. We end up, what the hell is Staten Island or something? So where are we? It's miserable, but it only happens when you're in a hurry.
Yeah.
I remember I was in Tonopah, Nevada, and I was just like, I had to get out of LA. When I lived in LA, I just find any excuse to leave. And I was driving just back roads in Nevada, and I was Tonopah has the Tonopah Speedway, like backwoods the car racing, but not really skilled like Daytona. It's all these fucking rednecks that just put a Cessna engine in an old fucking Vega and drive as fast as they could, and they crash all the time. And I go, I haven't done that since I was a kid. We used to go to those kind of races when we were kids. Thompson Speedway, I think, was one. It was Connecticut. But I went, and I showed up, and it was after Dale Earnhardt had died. And they were playing pre-race. They were playing Freebird with the Dale Earnhardt announcers from the death race cutting in. So it'd be, if I leave here tomorrow, oh, Dale just went up against the rail really hard. Would you still remember? This doesn't look good. Everyone say a prayer for, because I'm as free. And people were like taking off their hats. And I was like, this is the funniest thing in the world, but I'm alone. Like if I had one person I could make eye contact with and laugh that they're doing this, it would be hilarious. But it was terrifying by yourself.
Yeah.
So
now I want to get my fucking car and drive somewhere.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why we took off. That's why we went up to the Midwest. It was just
driving me up the wall, sitting around and not, every gig that we had actually we were booked in Sturgis this year, and we were but what obviously wasn't the one that Smash Mouth played. We were booked on another, so we were going to go, but Eric wisely said, I don't want to fly. Well, I said, I'll drive. So we were still going to go, and luckily it got canceled because of the fallout. But we just had to just get in the car and see movement.
Because it was
how many of you poor pricks are saddled with children at the house?
just me.
Yeah, that's why you're the one that fucking tells everyone we have to leave.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, they're old enough to
take care of themselves, and B, talk back, and C, not feed if I don't feel like it. No, but they're one's in college. My son is in college. My daughter's in high school, and they both volunteered to work from home.
So
are you really the oldest?
Yeah.
Holy
Just by
shit.
like a year and a half. Yeah.
Wow.
it's a lot
If you hold your breath.
I'm 53.
Me too.
All right. I'm March.
I'm August.
See, you're younger than me. When you get to be my age, you're going to see things so much different. I was like you 6 months ago, all carefree and hitting the road.
Yeah.
6 months from now, you're going to see what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, you were right, Stanhope.
I got to get a pipe. But
How long have you been doing this?
the
The
band
band just turned 16 in when was it, Chad?
It's 2003 when we really started working together, but the band was born in 04, so 16 years now.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I assume you were all playing music before then.
Yeah, in different capacities. Patrick, you've been playing like since, I don't know, 2001, 2002 or something like that, full time, right?
Yeah. I'm guessing. I'm horrible with dates. I don't even know how old I am. It's just the guys laughing at me for being older than them.
Well, we've all been in different bands. Eric has probably been in more bands than any of us.
Are any of you replacements?
Well, yeah, Eric is.
Oh, yeah.
Patrick,
I'm the new guy.
Yeah.
I joined in January, and these guys' schedule, I've known these guys for a long time, and their schedule is always full. They're always going somewhere, tour. They do at least 10 days in Ireland. And I was so excited to join the band. And then March came, and I got less excited about joining the band.
Oh, yeah. What are you going to do?
I'm teasing, of course, but
What happened to the guy you're replacing?
probably Patrick can explain it better, but kind of like life kind of got in the way.
Yeah, no, I want someone else to explain it because you're going to have to take the high road on this.
Exactly.
Well, actually, Mike is the easiest one. Mike has been with us for how many years, Chad? 10, 11?
He was with us for 11 years, yeah.
11 years.
Yeah.
And he was the just like any band, or most bands, I'll say. I just saw a thing with Springsteen, and he's talking about his band for 50 years. Now, shut up. But so most of the band, 16 years ago, the Blaggards was born, and the fiddle player and drummer, by that, they just up and moved away. And then, so we've had, like, not to exaggerate, but about 6.5 million fiddle players. And and Eric's only our third drummer. I mean, really, fourth. So, but it's just talking about full-time real members. So Mike was our last guy, and he got married, had a kid, and by the time the marriage and the kid caught up with him, he was like, well, I can't be coming home at 4:00 in the morning, and and he also worked a second job too, so he would sleep for an hour in the van, get home, take a shower, and go to his other job. So
that's fucked.
Misery, and he didn't want to leave, and we didn't want to get rid of him. And Eric came in, and Eric promised that he'd be all slick, and he's a monster drummer, and so we got really lucky in that regard. We kind of replaced we replaced a rock solid guy with a rock solid guy, which is not usually the case. You usually get a rock solid guy with a needle in his arm and a couple of wives chasing him or whatnot. We got lucky.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, if you were doing the Blaggards? First of all, what's the word? Where did Blaggards come from? Is that actually a word?
Yeah, it's more like a slang. It came from Blackguard, but Blaggard is basically, you're in Dublin and somebody calls you Blaggard, means you're kind of a scumbag or just a ne'er-do-well. Like nothing major, but nothing nice.
Like a nerd or a schemy.
Yeah. So you're exactly, and so I'd hear these old women, and on the what was then what it now called the farmers market, which was then called the market, Moore Street, and they go, yep, the little guy would run by and he'd rob the apple, and she'd go, you fucking blackguard, and I kind of stuck in the back of my head. I was like, I like that. It's got a nice ring to it.
I love it.
So, and we were again 16 years ago amazed that it was, because the first thing we did was went on the old internet, the big computer, we Blaggards, and nobody had taken it, so we were kind of shocked that we got to keep it.
Yeah, that's before the internet. Like if you had this is a great album title or whatever, a band name, now you can Google and go, someone already has that for a podcast. Back then you had plausible deniability that someone else already had that title.
Exactly, and we've run into it more times than you would believe. Even now, even today, people trying to get it. But because we bought the name 16 years ago, we've had the trademark company call us and say, hey, this band wants to call themselves Blaggard, blah 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 blah, or something, and they say, is that okay with you? And 9 out of 10 times it's far enough away that we don't mind. But yeah, we also had a band up in New York as well called the Blaggards, and they thought that was enough. Because we're just Blaggards, they put they said, there, we're free, we own it. It was like, no,
like Lady Antebellum. They wouldn't know there's a Lady A in Seattle when they changed their name to. That was actually one of the reasons. First of all, is because I know Jeff, and he's great. When he emailed me and said, "Hey, do this podcast," I went. It was that, and I loved the fucking name, and I love Irish rock. So
Cool.
but I was gonna ask if there was a fucking behind the music of the history of the Blaggards, what would be the clickbait? Like, did anyone die of fucking heroin? Did you ever get busted? Like, how would they beat out that hour? What would the major beats be in the Blaggards behind the music?
Man, does it have to be true? Does it have to?
What? No, it's VH1, so they're just gonna go for the fucking the meat and the dirt and the dirty laundry. What would they if they knew your entire story, even the parts you don't want to tell?
Oh boy.
Who fucked someone's wife? Who did the bad thing?
Man, we're gonna
Who
need
fell
to take a
asleep at
week
the
off.
wheel and made the drummer lose his arm?
and thus improving the band.
Are any of you sober?
Yeah, I'm sober. I'm sober for 30. I'm bad with math too. I'm sober since, I'll tell you exactly when, 88.
All right. Wow. America ruined you.
Yes,
You moved here in 87.
Yeah.
Must have been a good year.
Right.
I went straight to South Boston. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah, I guess. Well, or join the Whitey Bulger's gang.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to get a Whitey Bulger story like this, because we really don't have our bio kind of reads like now that you mention it, we haven't killed anybody, and we need to get to work.
Yeah, I think there's been so little drama with our band. I think maybe we've been lucky in that respect, but we've, most of the members who we had who were troublemakers didn't last long with us because of that. So, there was.
Are any of you single?
Yeah, I am.
Hey, calm down. He's only asking for the show.
Because that was a big thing when I started comedy. Was you can get pussy doing this.
Right.
And then when you didn't care anymore, I'm like, I don't know if I would really need to try as hard.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think music is the same way. I mean, I always make a joke that you didn't join music because you wanted to play the drums. You played music because you wanted to get girls, and I think that's a big part of it. However, I think that we behave a little bit differently than most bands. We're a little bit older too, and we've all been doing this for 1,000 years. So any of that shit is a couple years ago, maybe last month that we fucked. Oh wait, I'm sorry.
I don't want to say ageism because that makes it sound like a victim thing, but music is a fucking young man's sport. Like like a writer. If I knew a book was written by a 24-year-old, I'd go, I don't want to read it.
Right.
They have nothing to say. But people, again, you are different in the genre of your music. But yeah, the old guys in a band is like a young guy as an author.
That's a great, yeah.
I get that too. Yeah.
Although I find very few 24-year-olds whose music I want to listen to.
Oh yeah, I don't really want to listen to much music, but
These days anyway.
Yeah.
but there is a stigma with being old and in a band.
Yes. Yeah, and the clubs. I mean, when you're playing around, when you stay in town, the clubs 9 out of 10 times don't want the young band either, because they're gonna try to recreate the old Who or something, and break their shit.
Throw the TV out the hotel window.
Yeah, or because they want they want people that can hold a crowd, and that can, because if we're guilty of anything, it's guilty of just playing whatever the fuck we want whenever we want. So we'll have an Elvis number, then a drinking number, then
good. I was gonna ask you that if there's any cover songs that you really love doing in your own style.
Oh yeah, tons. Yeah, Elvis is a big one. Johnny Cash, Thin Lizzy. Yeah,
Thin
I
Lizzy.
did.
Thin Lizzy, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think there's one Elvis song I like, but I can't. It's not instant recall.
Yeah, he's so that we just finished a new record, and we're mixing it at the moment, and so we're putting a lot of originals on this one. So the first one that we made, we just took these old Clancy Brothers and the Dubliners and of course Pogues. We took all of those guys, put them in a blender, and of course, you know, always stealing from Thin Lizzy. Growing up in Dublin, you can't discount or bypass Thin Lizzy. Same with Horse Lips and stuff like that. So we put all this stuff in a blender, and we put it out in a little heavier style than if you search up Irish rock, you're going to get 9 times out of 10 you're going to get a penny whistle, a mandolin, a banjo, a guitar, all this stuff, and it's going to be drink, and then so we're kind of to the side of that, where we can put our own, we can just play whatever the hell we want. We can put a Joe Jackson number in the middle of the set and people won't bat an eye, or Michael Jackson.
Because when people ask me what kind of music I like, I always say I don't like music, because I know I'm such a pedestrian. People see stand-up comedy maybe once a year, if at all. So if you tell me you like Jeff Dunham and Peanut, I judge you as a person. The same way if you said you were of any religious faith, I've just lost all. So yeah, if you tell me that so what Irish rock band could I say that would make you go, ugh? Pogues, you just said Pogues is Shane MacGowan, right?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So because I Flogging Molly, am I a douchebag? Because I love Flogging Molly.
I like some of their stuff. I'm not a fan of the 10-piece band with everybody playing at full speed, because I can't discern musically. That makes sense?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. That's my point. I know nothing about music except what I like.
Well, Flogging Molly, they've got a great backbeat, and the singer's got a great storyteller, so there's good. That's good. Now, the one that I hate, and I get a lot of shit for this, would be Dropkick Murphys. To me,
Okay.
it sounds like somebody just took a bunch of instruments and they put them in a bathtub while they were plugged in. It's just,
I'm going straight down a fucking Irish rock rabbit hole after we're done. Starting with you.
Good. Well, I want to send you some. I want to send you some stuff so you can, March rolls around again and you got a captive audience. You can get everybody to leave. Just play our stuff and put it on. Put it to 10, and you'll get them all. You won't need the cops.
So I'd like to send you some stuff.
For being so kind to for being so generous with your time and
please, start me in the right place.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'll dig up some old. To me, Irish rock started with Thin Lizzy. Basically, they did Whiskey in the Jar, and that wasn't it. That's not it. They took. There's songs like Black Rose and Emerald that to me exploded this scene, that made this scene. And of course the Dubliners and Clancy Brothers and stuff, you can't keep a smile from your face. We're in your bar, in your local, and you're having a couple of drinks with friends, and these songs come on, because even though they're singing about starving to death and the plight of these immigrants coming to the and being pissed on when they got off the boat, you can't stop tapping your foot or singing along or something. Stuff is so infectious. And I used to bartend back in around the time when you were in Houston, in the 90s, and just watching these bands come in and do that fucking Freebird or Hotel California,
just anything that would make
Mustang Sally.
Yeah, Mustang Sally, exactly.
That's begging for a pistol in your mouth. I mean, that's just, and I'm behind the bar trying to get people to drink more and stay, and the band's up there doing a 20-minute blues number. I woke up this morning, Eric.
Da 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 da.
There you go. Now that 20 minutes. Sorry, now I'm excited.
No, I love it. I'm making another drink.
There you go.
All right.
Now I have the worst day since yesterday in my head. Send me a song to get that out.
Chad, sing it.
That's a good
Sing
song. Yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah. We do that one.
Chad sings it better than they do. Let me tell you.
I do that quite a bit. I tell Hennigan about some comic that I just worked with, and I do their bit, and then he sees them do it, and he goes, "Your version is so much better."
Good, better, right? Yeah. Yeah.
I always wanted to do just blatantly an album of blatantly stolen material. But no, I changed it just enough. And then I have the Steve Martin arrow through the head album cover. Like, this is all stolen. I go, yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
the point.
different enough.
Do you run into a lot of theft on the road? Do you run into a lot of comedy theft?
Rarely is anyone's. My bits are so fucking long, no one could steal them. It's a 20-minute chunk. Like,
Yeah, but you know if they took it, they know if they took your.
the only person I know that stole blatantly from me is Jim Jeffries, and like that was
Really?
kind of the bit that made him. And he told me, "Oh, isn't that on their Yellow album?" Like when I met him in Edinburgh in like 2004 or something. And he told me that, yeah, I think that I kind of like, no, you fucking stole it. It's a very, very specific bit. And he had a kind of a similar story, but when he heard my bit, he kept doing it. Like you put it on the HBO
Jesus.
special.
Wow.
It's already out. It's not in my act. It's not like, but how do you fucking live with yourself?
But didn't you call him out on that new record about eating at an Outback Steakhouse that's as authentic as Jim Jeffries or something like that?
Yeah.
That's right.
That's
Yeah,
fun.
that was, and it's probably 15 years too late, but I still take a stab at him when I can.
Yes, you
Why
must.
not?
You must. It drives me up the wall. I see a bit, and then I hear a commercial done with on that riffing on that idea. You know, and they didn't pay for that. They didn't ask.
That's with the whole point of that album. Excuse anyone who's offended by the word. It was the point that comics have no recourse. You have fucking one riff that's the same as someone else's song, and there's lawsuits.
Mm-hmm.
What was that band that Bittersweet Symphony? Is that the song?
Yeah, the Verve.
Oh
Verve.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they did get. Yeah.
Yeah, they get zilch for that. But
Yeah, they got. They got screwed.
How about Vanilla Ice taking the Queen riff and putting an extra half beat in it and saying it was his? You know?
yeah,
Yeah. Genius.
Well, the thing that was crap for the Verve is that they actually arranged. They had gotten permission, and then they turned around and changed the terms after the song became a hit. That was total bullshit.
but and then Carlos Mencia goes and steals one of the classic fucking Bill Cosby from the 70s, like a long story. You know, thanks, mom. Hi, mom. Whatever. He steals the entire fucking story and nothing.
Yeah.
But comedy's pretty good about drumming those people out of the business.
Right.
If you're known as a joke thief, yeah, you're shit. You might as well. You're a fucking pedophile in prison.
I mean, what's Carlos done lately? I mean, seriously.
Pretty much back to my level. If I'm doing a Wednesday at the Cleveland Improv, he's doing the Thursday. But it was so immediate because that guy had the #1 show on Comedy Central.
True.
He's selling out theaters, and after the whole Joe Rogan thing, yeah, you're doing Thursday, the Improv, Cleveland.
It's crazy to me that anybody would think they could get away with that in this day and age. I guess, I don't know, with stealing anything, whether it's comedy or songs. And we've seen people steal blatant songs from other bands, not recently, but it's crazy to me that people think they can get away with that kind of stuff.
Oh, they're like Hedberg. I think Hedberg would fucking die on the vine in this day and age because all his jokes fit into a tweet.
Yeah.
So someone would just take his joke, tweet it as their own.
Mm-hmm. That was something that Slade Ham mentioned when we were talking to him, that he sees more Hedberg plagiarism than anything when in the clubs. It's like,
oh
no. Yeah.
I thankfully don't see comics in clubs anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, there's no comedy where I live. And when I'm on the road, I'm not going to look at other comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried to watch some specials. Rogan's new special I thought was really good, and a few guys that I'd never heard of, Sam Morrill. I watched a few, but I just have a really hard time watching stand-up unless live. You watch it live because something could go drastically wrong, and if it did in a special, they'd edit it out. I'm like, what the fuck?
I just saw your special, the one on Prime, Dying of a Last Breed.
Yeah,
that was really great.
Thanks.
Good.
Yeah, it came out a year after I filmed it. So.
Do you ever get tempted, after all the TV stuff? Do you ever get tempted to write for anybody like that, or to write for any shows? Or
I couldn't do it. I can barely write for myself, and and that's worked out over a course of months as I'm writing it. I couldn't just write it down and know it's funny for someone else.
Yeah, that blows me away because I've just your ability. The one of the many moments in your stand up was the man, I'm in love with this woman. I love her so much. I'm gonna get the government involved. And just that little piece, and then of course there's plenty around it. There's plenty built around it. But that nugget, that was enough to just mow over. I don't watch TV, but if you turn it on or you walk by one and you see what they're watching, that premise and that just bit and building off that it mows over anything I've seen.
You know what? I have seen a few people do that bit since, and I'm like, I did that bit way earlier. It's about marriage. Like, why is gay marriage an issue? Marriage itself should be not a legal institution. It's like, if it didn't exist, would you invent? And you thought of it? Would you try to promote that? Baby, this shit we got together is so good. We got to get the government involved. We need federal oversight and legislation. Our love's so strong. And I've seen, and it's always good when you see someone doing what you go, I think they probably fucking kite that from me, but when you go, oh, mine's way better.
Yeah.
Then it just takes the edge off it.
Yeah.
Has anyone stolen your shit?
No. I tell a lie. Go ahead, Chad.
Well, our arrangements we have probably our biggest selling song is our version of Drunken Sailor. And very early on, we saw other bands doing the exact same arrangement of ours and actually recording it. And we caught one of them. And they immediately caught to it, like as soon as they saw that it was back in the MySpace days.
Oh, yeah.
They said, we were going to give you credit.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
I would so go back to MySpace in a minute.
Me too.
I would be changing my top friends right now.
God, yeah.
But on that point too, we had a band open for us in Florida, and they had begged the club that booked us they had begged them to have us on, and they wanted to open for us. So we're gonna bring out all our friends. So you have the three mothers and the dog in the front row, and they opened up the show with our version of that song.
I mean, played horribly, and
I'm just looking at them going, what's the and that song, as many musicians will tell you. Myself, Chad, and Turi, our fiddle player, and Brian, our drummer, we're in the room and we had just finished a rehearsal. And Turi, I think, said, what song should we do that people request? And I think Chad may have said, a drunken sailor. So I just started playing the thing. They joined in, and within a minute, we had the version of the song. And I said, shave his balls with the rust. Usually the line was, shave his head with the rust. I just, I'm genius. I'm genius like that. I can change. And, and I said it one time. They laughed, so I did it again. And we recorded it like that. And then, but then you see it, so little things like that. But our new stuff, I guarantee you, the original stuff, nobody's going to steal.
A lot of times I'll be on the road and use local openers, and they'll come like fully loaded with all the shit that's similar to mine to try to impress me. And well, you don't need to do that. Like, you're kind of probably stepping on my dick a bit by doing all the things that you go, oh, he'd love this. I don't normally do this. I get a lot of that. People who do all their darkest shit because they can't do it on a regular show, in their local club.
And that shows up. That's the first thing that shows up in their act, is that it's not them. It's false. Yeah,
they're playing to me and not the audience.
Well, they're not playing to their strengths.
I was playing in Norway. Is a brilliant comic named Doug Stanhope, and he had put a lot of these gigs together, and he was opening for me. But in Norway, he was doing his act in Norwegian, and sometime then I had to go to the UK, and I was on whatever the SAS, the airline, and there was no 13th row on the plane. That's like, you're in a fucking plane. At what point are you superstitious? We're flying over the earth, something to that effect. And I was riffing that as a bit in London, and I didn't know he had been doing that bit in front of me the entire tour of Norway, but I didn't know it was in Norwegian. And then he started getting shit for stealing my bit. I'm like, no, I had no idea he did that bit. I just was riffing that.
Wow.
But yeah, there's a good honor system in comedy.
There is among the great comedians.
All right, I think we just hit a dead spot because I just keep talking and for the listener, but I'll definitely do this again.
Anytime.
I have your address from Twitter because you were having the people send the cutouts.
Oh yeah. I was gonna bring you in there and show them. I only have 4 so far, but.
Well, where do people usually get those done? Do we know?
We need to send you a Blaggard cutout.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. We'll do that.
I want to send you some music. I want to send you so that I can send it to that address on your Twitter, right?
Yeah, if you go down through the replies on that tweet, someone tells you where you can get them for fucking $19.99. So yeah, by the end of football season, I want to have fucking cardboard cutouts and all the fucking social distance chairs, and there's a lot of them around the parts you haven't seen of the house.
I personally, I know these guys as well. I'll let them say a thing, but I have to tell you, this has been just one of the high points of my career doing this. This has been a thrill talking to you, and I hope to God we can do this again.
As soon as the Chaley and Tracy were like an hour and a half out, so they should be here anytime. And the first thing I'm going to tell them is we're getting the fucking Blaggards on the patio.
Nice.
Anytime. It takes about, let's say, 20 hours to get there. I'll make it in 18. So you just tell me when.
Oh, that's right, Houston. I was thinking Austin. I knew was like 15, 16. Yeah, so yeah, you could do it in 18.
Easy.
Yeah.
I'll make it in 14. I have to impress them, guys. Come on.
Well, you're gonna stop at some shithole in West Texas and fucking play a gig.
Yeah, actually, funny you say that. In March, we are playing Odessa, so maybe we can make a run out there in the middle of.
And that's rough.
Well,
Odessa is rough. Yeah, Lubbock is tough, but Midland, Odessa, that's fucking Friday Night Lights, fucking shit heels.
Yeah, I think it's a private party, so I think it'll be.
Oh no, it's a festival, my friends. It's a festival.
Oh, good.
Everything's private property if you got a gun.
Exactly.
Hey,
well,
gentlemen, this is fucking great. I'm glad to meet you guys.
Yeah,
exactly.
likewise, man.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Doug. We appreciate taking the time out and hanging out with us.
So
make sure to let me know when I can retweet this when it comes out.
And when does the print version of No Encore for the Donkey come out?
It was it's exclusive on Audible until February. So hopefully we're ready at the due date. We have hard copies ready to push out.
Excellent. Cool.
Yeah,
All right.
Be sure to put a link.
Thank you so much, Doug Stanhope.
Hey,
I
Doug.
don't know how to get out of this.
There you go.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, he's back.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Should
guess
say
we're
end,
just gonna keep going and going.
end meeting.
How to fucking hang this up? I'll just turn my phone off.
we'll end it here. Thanks, Doug.
Bye now.
Cheers. Thank you.
All right, so that was it.
I want to mention again that his book, Digging Up Mother, A Love Story, is an absolute mandatory read. I can't wait to get my hands on the new stuff too.
Yeah. I want to get a copy of that as well. There's a third book that he put out.
Yeah, This Is Not Fame.
But also drop some links. All the links for that will be in the description. And also I'll put some links for some other interviews and stuff he's done recently. I found a really good one with him and Bill Burr from a few years ago that I'll link to. And also his own podcast, the Doug Stanhope podcast, which just came out with a new episode this week that we're recording this.
So, yeah, thanks for listening. And just make sure that Christmas is coming. So Doug Stanhope's got some books out there that you might like to give as gifts. And we've got some new stuff coming to the website. We got some new, we're going to have some, hopefully some mugs here pretty soon. We're going to get some mugs. We got beanies on the site. We've got, hopefully get some work shirts too.
Order now.
Yeah. We just, with the state of the post office and all that shit they're going through.
Yeah.
You definitely want to, if you want stuff in time for Christmas, just get on there now and, check it out and, share it with your friends. And thank you for listening. And, we can't wait to see you out very, very soon. We got a lot of stuff coming out. Einstein's as well. We got Einstein's in Richmond and back in Katy here very soon. So really looking forward to that. And, thanks for all your support. And again, happy anniversary to Kelly and Debbie. We're thrilled for you, and we'll see you all very, very soon.
Yep.
Cheers.
See you guys.